In this video, we're going to be looking at how to interpret speed-time graphs. And how do you know that a graph is a speed-time graph? Well, you look at the axes. So on the left-hand side here, on the vertical y-axis, you have speed, and on the x-axis along the bottom, you have time. That makes it a speed-time graph. And we'll start off by looking at what speed is happening at each of the points on this graph. So at point 0 here, the origin, we have a speed of 0 meters per second. At point A, if we look across here, the speed at point A is 10 meters per second, and at point B it's the same, 10 meters per second. Now back at C, we're down at the bottom again, so we're at 0 meters per second, and for D that's the same as well, 0 meters per second. Now at E, we need to look along this line here all the way to the y-axis. It's between 4 and 6. So at point E, we are at 5 meters per second, and we also are at point F, 5 meters per second. So we've now worked out the speed for each of the black points on this journey. So now we can interpret what is happening. So between point 0 and A, so that's here, this person is accelerating. They are getting faster because they start at 0 and they go to 10, and it takes them about 5 seconds to get to 10 meters per second. Then they continue at 10 meters per second until time 10 seconds. So although it's a straight line, they're not standing still. What they are now is at a constant speed of 10 meters per second. After point B, they rapidly slow down to 0 meters per second. So they are decelerating. So a negative gradient on a speed time graph here indicates decelerating, and they are decelerating faster than they accelerated because it's only taken them from 10 seconds to 13 seconds to come to a stop. Now, between 13 seconds on this journey and 16 seconds, they stay at 0 meters per second. In other words, they stand still. So if it's a horizontal line and it's on the 0 point, then they are standing still. Then this person starts to move again. At 16 seconds, they start to increase their speed up to 5 meters per second. It takes them a while to get to 5 meters per second. It takes them from 16 to 21 seconds. It takes them 5 seconds to get to that speed of 5 meters per second, and then they stay at 5 meters per second until they finish their journey after 25 seconds. So that's what's happening in this graph. An acceleration up to 10 meters per second, steady speed of 10 meters per second, a rapid slowdown to nothing, to no speed. They stand still for a while, and then they slowly accelerate to a constant speed of 5 meters per second, which they maintain until they get to 25 seconds.